Hi guys! So today I'm going to attempt to do my first storytime video. These are going around a lot on YouTube at the moment, so I thought I'd hop on that bandwagon and have a go myself, because this storytime, or ongoing I guess storytime, is a little bit creepy and a little bit paranormal, and I'm not really big on the whole paranormal sort of thing, but there's been some crazy stuff going on in my house the past few months, so I thought I'd just share it with you and see what you guys think. Maybe you guys have got some idea of what might be going on in the house. I'm just a little bit creeped out, so I just thought I'd do a video on what creepy things have been going on in my house recently, because I seriously think I am being haunted by the ghost of my landlord. Sounds crazy, but I'm going to explain what's been going on and let you guys hear the backstory on this, and I'm just going to talk to you guys about it because I am feeling a little bit scared right now. A little bit of backstory: I moved into my current house last year in around July, August sort of time, and it was my first time moving into my own house rather than an apartment flat sort of thing. My first time being in a big two-story house by myself. So I wasn't too concerned about being by myself. I felt safe in the house the first few weeks I'd moved in. I felt completely fine. My neighbours were lovely and I just felt fine. Didn't feel creeped out being here alone or anything like that. So I would occasionally hear bumps and bangs in the house at night and sometimes during the day, but I'd always put it down to my neighbours because the walls are quite thin, so occasionally I could hear them walking up the stairs and banging around when their grandkids came, so that was not an issue. I kind of put all weird noises down to that, just so I didn't creep myself out and get myself how I am feeling right now. So stuff like that wasn't so much an issue for me. Again, I felt safe in the house. I didn't feel like anything weird was going on. But one time when my boyfriend came round on a weekend, we were watching TV in the living room, and my living room kind of is split into two with a partition wall and an archway sort of thing. And through the archway, whilst we were watching TV, I was convinced I saw a figure standing in the archway, and it freaked me the hell out because it was quite dark. We only had the lamp on and obviously we weren't paying too much attention to anything around us, but I saw this figure in the archway and freaked me the hell out. I told Ben, I was like, oh my god, did you just see that? There was totally a figure in the archway. And he was like, I kind of saw something, but it's nothing, what would it be? There's no one there, obviously there's no one in the house. He doesn't believe in ghosts, things like that. But I found it weird that he'd seen it as well, or he'd kind of felt something there as well, even though he just said we were both being crazy. I was convinced I'd seen this figure, and so had he. So we thought nothing of it, that was fine. Obviously I was a little freaked out, so I just dismissed that. I thought maybe I was just going a bit crazy. But then the months following this was last year, probably around Christmas time. From that time onwards, I noticed that doors were being left open when I was convinced I had shut them. And the doors in my house, because this house is a little bit old, the doors are quite stiff to shut and quite hard to open, because I've also got over the door hangers on the tops of the doors, so you have to really push the doors to open and close them. So occasionally I'd leave my living room door open and I'd come back downstairs and it would be closed, and things like that kind of freaked me out a little bit because I was convinced I'd either left it open or closed. But I thought nothing weird can really be going on, I must just be going crazy, I must have just forgotten that I'd left it open or left it closed. There was one time where I had specifically left the door open because I'd got the heating on in the living room and the hallway was really, really cold. So I specifically remembered that I left the living room door open so the heat could kind of go through to the hallway. And I came upstairs, went back down, and the door was shut. And I had definitely remembered opening the door for that reason. So things like that were a little bit creepy, but again, I tried to dismiss them. Another thing that kept happening throughout these months around December, January time was I had this magnifying mirror I haven't got it with me right now, but it was like a circular mirror, and it was on these little rubber suckers that you just stick to like the big mirror in my bathroom, which is next to my bedroom. And occasionally that would fall off during the night. It was only during the night that it would fall off, and it would wake me up, and I'd wake up to an enormous bang. It would freak me out. I would be absolutely terrified to leave my bedroom until the morning, and then I'd go in my bathroom, see that the mirror was on the floor, and then obviously realise that's what the sound was. This had happened a couple of times, and it also happened one time when Ben was here, and he was also pretty freaked out when he heard such a loud bang, which was this mirror falling off the larger mirror. So eventually I just took that off, and I thought, I can't be bothered with this keep falling off and waking me up in the night. It's nothing, I will just take it off and forget about it. Things like that kept happening, and I tried to dismiss them all because I'm not one to really believe in ghosts or the paranormal. I'm not a big believer in things like that. But then something happened a couple of months ago that kind of really got me thinking and kind of freaked me out a little bit. Basically, at the back of my house, I've got my kitchen and then a door that leads onto like a back porch sort of thing, like a conservatory porch thing, and attached to that is a gate which leads to my driveway at the front. I'm not sure how easy that is to kind of imagine, but this gate that is connected to my back porch has a Yale lock on it. So you can open it from the inside, but you can also open it with a key from the outside to get in. But I've also got 2 deadbolts on the top and bottom of the gate that I always make sure I keep locked, so there's absolutely no way that anyone can get in from the outside, even if they have a key to the Yale. So the deadbolts are always left on whenever I go outside. Whenever I go through the gate from the back, I always put the deadbolts back on. But one time I went into the porch to take my rubbish out, I noticed that the gate was open. So the gate leading outside from my porch was completely open, which meant that the deadbolts had been taken off and the Yale had been open. And it really freaked me out because there is absolutely no way anyone from outside can get in with the deadbolts on. So the bolts must have been taken off from the inside. But the only way you can get inside is by coming through my house. So that freaked me out, and I couldn't explain that. I don't know how it happened. I never forget to lock the deadbolts. It's an automatic thing that I've always done. So that really freaked me out. Shortly after this was around the time in the UK where we had some really quite bad storms, really bad wet weather, and these storms actually ended up blowing off a lot of the guttering from my front porch. So I had to ring up my landlord's contractor and ask him if he could fix the guttering on the front of this porch that had been blown off. So I rang him up and I was talking to him about it, and just randomly in conversation he mentioned that my landlord had actually passed away just before Christmas time last year. So my landlords were a couple, and the woman had obviously passed away before Christmas last year. So I found this out just after all these weird things were going on in my house, and I didn't put 2 and 2 together at this point. I just thought, that's unfortunate, my landlord has passed away. So I carried on going about my business after hearing this news. But then weird things kept on happening again. Doors were being left open, doors were being closed. I actually had another issue with the back gate deadbolts being left off again and the gate swinging open. That again freaked me out because I don't ever forget to put the deadbolts on, and plus the Yale is also on as well. So if the Yale's shut, there's no way the door's opening unless you've got a key from the outside. So it happened again and it freaked me out, and at this point, obviously knowing that my landlord had died, I was a little bit kind of like, maybe this is her playing tricks on me in this house. I don't know, I just felt a little bit weird after hearing that news. Then a couple of weeks ago, which was probably the most terrifying thing to happen to me in this house, I was sitting on my bed as I am here, and the door to my landing is next to me, this side. And the door was closed. I was sitting in bed on my laptop, and I kid you not, I heard a sneeze, a loud sneeze come from the top of my stairs, and it was as clear as anything, like there was someone that had just sneezed on the top of my stairs. And I was petrified because it was definitely the sound of a sneeze, like someone was on the top of my stairs. And the way my house is, I'm semi-detached, so my neighbours are on this side of my house, but I have no neighbours on that side, and the house that's actually that side, that's not detached, there's no one living in there. So I never really hear any noises from anything or anyone coming from this side. So when I heard that sneeze, I was petrified and I was convinced there was someone in the house. Eventually I got the balls to open the door and check, and there was no one there. So that really freaked me out. And I know it sounds stupid, but to me, you can kind of tell the difference between a male sneeze and a female sneeze. And this was definitely not a male sneeze. So that really freaked me out. And that was probably the scariest thing I've had happen to me in this house, because it was so clear as day that that's what this sound was. I told my boyfriend and he was like, you're just hearing things, because I rang him up. I was like, oh my god, Ben, there's someone in the house. I heard this noise. He was like, no, you're just being stupid. You're hearing things. I was not hearing things, I swear. I was completely fine. Since then, I've still had weird things going on. I've had things move. I've put things in certain places and they have been moved into completely different places where I wouldn't have put things. I've had things being turned upside down. I had my toothpaste on the side. This is going to sound absolutely balmy, but I've got a little bit of OCD about how things are in the house and how I put things. And the toothpaste tube I always leave facing up, so the name of the toothpaste is at the top. This is going to sound mad, but the toothpaste was upside down on the side, not where I'd put it. And Ben hadn't been in my house since this point because I live on my own. Ben hadn't been here at the time, and I had definitely placed the toothpaste right side up on the side. So things like that were freaking me out as well, because I leave things a certain way because of my OCD, and things were moving. So I'm a little bit freaked out at this point. Weird things have been going on. Doors have been left open, unlocked. I've been hearing really weird noises. And to be honest, this is going to sound mad as well, but I feel like I'm not alone in the house now. I felt fine before Christmas, before any of this was happening. I felt completely fine in the house, but recently I've been feeling like I'm not alone. And for me, that's weird because I don't really get feelings like this. I don't feel threatened, but I definitely feel like there's something going on here. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm just going mad and totally blowing this out of proportion, but some of the things that were going on, especially that sound of the sneeze that I heard, have just been freaking me out a bit. And I wonder what you guys think of it. Maybe you guys think that I'm going mad and that I need to just chill the hell out, or maybe you guys believe that something might be going on here. Maybe my landlord is haunting me in this house and that's what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing going on. But I don't know, tell me what you guys think. If you're into the paranormal sort of thing, what do you guys think is going on here? And if not, then I just need to chill out and take a step back, take a breather and stop going insane. Either way, I'm going to be moving out of this house within the next 6 or 7 weeks, so hopefully nothing too major will be going on in the weeks leading up to moving out, because I'm a little bit scared right now. But either way, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to see what you guys think of it, and I just thought I'd share it with you because to me these have been pretty creepy things that have been going on in my house. So anyway guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. It's a bit of a different one for me, but I kind of enjoyed just sharing my thoughts of what's been going on, because whenever I talk to my boyfriend about it, he just tells me I'm going crazy and that I'm losing the plot. So please someone tell me I'm not going crazy. That would really help me out. Anyway, really hope you enjoyed the video. Please comment, rate and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.